Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Breezy, and welcome back to my channel. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, but before you even watch it, like the video, share the video, and make sure you comment after you watch the video, okay? I feel like, can y'all hear me? I'm asking y'all, like by the time this is uploaded, it's not gonna matter if y'all can hear me or not, because the video's uploaded. Anyway, I wanted to give an update on Zamir. So a couple years ago, it hasn't really been like 2 years, but like about a year and a half, Zamir was diagnosed with autism. And if you haven't watched that video, go watch it. I kind of pretty much just discussed how I felt when I found out and just his whole life before that diagnosis. And so what I'm going to talk about now is life after the diagnosis up until now, which is about a year and a half. So yeah, it is World Autism Day or month, well, and or month. I don't know when I'm going to post this. I'm talking to y'all like, y'all bear with me, okay? Anyway, regardless, we are celebrating those with autism. And so I just kind of wanted to give you all an update if you all cared enough. And just to kind of, showcase what has happened, the positives, the hardships, and yeah, so let's get into it. So he was diagnosed in I'm not even gonna say the year because he was diagnosed at the age of 5. So he just turned 5. When did he turn 5? Was that 21? Because 22 he turned 6, and then we're in 2023. He'll be 7 at the end of this year. So he was diagnosed in late 2021, and it was a long time coming. And so from that moment until now, it has been a roller coaster, and it's always been a roller coaster, but him getting older and just, whew, y'all. Okay, so basically, a couple months after his diagnosis, around like February of 22, so about a year ago, he started having meltdowns. And he would have moments before where, he would get upset at something, and of course he would start crying, and it's kind of random, and it's like, okay, well, what happened? Like, what happened? Y'all, these meltdowns were just, they started off like he would wake up in the middle of the night. So they started off like that. So of course, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, well, are you having a nightmare? Okay, relax. And I stay in an apartment building as of right now. So I'm like, I hope he don't wake these neighbors up. I hope they don't call the police on me, because he would scream. Like, it's not even about him like crying or whining. No, like when he has his meltdowns, he's screaming. So you would think something is like, you would be looking like, oh my God, she is hurting this child, because he would be screaming. And so it would be like, it started off in the middle of the night. And then I was like, okay, we gotta figure something out, because it started to become constant. And I was like, what is this? So we went to the doctor. Well, no, not first. So at first I was, because he would get therapy once a week. So I would go to his therapist, and I'm like, well, he's, having these moments where he's screaming, he's doing this. And as it was also at night, it started to progress during the day. So we're just like, and it would be random, like I said, like it could just be, he could be like eating, and then he would have a meltdown, or he would be playing and he would have a meltdown. He could just be standing there and he would have a meltdown. So, I was asking them, okay, like, what can I do? Because this is a lot for me, and I know that it's a lot for him, because he can't verbalize how he's feeling or what's going on in his mind, in his head, in his brain. He can't verbalize it, so I know that makes it 10 times worse. So what can I do to help him so that, first of all, he's not waking up in the middle of the night? Because y'all, that would be so hard. that would be so hard. And I would just wake up and I would just be praying. Like, that's all I could do. I would just be praying because I'm like, there's not, like, what else can I do? And so, um, so yeah, they would be like, okay, well, you know, you can do some deep, because his therapist was already kind of telling me little things to help calm him and relax his body when he would feel overstimulated. Um, so, you know, they were like, okay, do some deep, you know, compressions, all of that. But they're like, well, you can do like a calm corner. And I think I was also researching, of course, because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So Google is all of our best friends. So I'll just be looking like, okay, well, what does this mean? And I think at first, I'm thinking it's a tantrum. So I'm like, what the freak? And then I would read like night terrors and stuff. So I'm like, okay, okay. And so they were like, okay, well, try a calm corner, you know, get some things. So when he feels overwhelmed, you can take him to this corner and he can play with this, or he can squeeze this, or he can sit in this, and it'll help relax him. And so I was like, okay. So then I made him a calm corner and watched that video as well. But spoiler alert, he doesn't like it. He this child, y'all, just the more and more I think about it, he is something else for real. He doesn't really like his room. Like, he, do not judge me, y'all, but he still co-sleeps with me. So we are on the journey of getting him in his own space. But I think he just likes my bed. So now I'm like, okay, do I got to get you a queen size bed for you to sleep in your room? I don't know. But but we are on that journey to like, okay, you need to be in your room. But when I made the his calm corner, I bought him like a tent, because they kind of say like dark, like when it's no light, and just, you know, being kind of like secluded, if you will, kind of helps ease the mind. So I was like, okay, I'll get him a tent. I got him little like sensory toys. I got him like a massager. I got him like this light that he can like click on and off. Like I said, go watch that video because I did post that on here. But he's like, no, like he kind of looked at it like, am I getting in trouble? Like, do I have to go in there when I'm getting in trouble? And I didn't want to associate that with him thinking that he was getting in trouble. So it was just kind of hard, like, to get him to understand that, no, like, if you're feeling some type of way, or just even if you just want to play in there, you can. But it ain't work, y'all. Not for my child. So if, like I said, if y'all got any suggestions, please drop them because I am taking them. But the biggest thing, he was having these meltdowns, and it was like lasting for a long time, for days, every day it was something. And so we went to his doctor, and his doctor was like, okay, well, you know, let's rule out everything else first. So she was like, is he having like regular bowel movements? And I was like, well, no, not really. Like, he, you know, he would kind of sometimes go days without pooping. And so she was like, okay, well, you know, sometimes that can be painful. So we'll try to get him on some things to flush out his system. And so we tried that, and that did make him go, but he was still having meltdowns. And so I went back to the doctor. She was like, okay, well, we can try to put him on some medication to help stabilize his mood. And she was basically telling me like a lot of kids with autism have to, you know, be on this medication to help them in their day-to-day lives. And at first I was like, I don't want my child to have to be on medication every day. Like, I don't want that. And then to me, it just kind of made it seem like it was permanent, because I'm like, okay, so this isn't going away. And so I think like that kind of was hard for me to kind of cope with and understand, because I'm like, wow, so now my child has to deal with this. And this, like, it's hard, y'all. Like, it's hard to just see them like go through that. And so But we tried the medicine, and it was like night and day. I was like, okay, he's just gonna have to be on his medication. And so he would still have moments where he would, have a few meltdowns here and there. So we were trying to figure out the right dosage, the right time frame, all of that. So we were doing like half a pill, then we went to a full pill, then it was like day and night. So we kind of like figured out what worked best for him. And so yeah, he is still on that medication. We actually recently just upped his dosage because he had to get blood work done, and so he there was a small period, but it felt like forever, where he was not on a medication, and it was just, y'all, so intense, so intense. And it's kind of like I can't do anything. I just have to let him just, because he would be very, like, he would want to be near me, but then he wouldn't want me to touch him, or I would try, like, then he would like want to sit on my lap, but then he would like push me away. And I'm like, I know you don't really know how to express what you want, but you can't be, and then it's also just a lot for me as a human to take in, and as his mother to not be able to do anything to help. It was just a lot. So he's finally back on his medication. We upped the dosage, and he is doing so much better. So that was kind of like the main thing that kind of like flipped the switch. I was like, wow. And to think that people really was dealing with this, because had I not had a child with autism, I wouldn't be researching, I wouldn't be knowing these things, I wouldn't be verbalizing these things, right? Because I wouldn't know, and it's not affecting me. So, but it definitely makes you look at the world differently, because for instance, we will be out in public, and for the most part, he does okay in public, but sometimes he's just ready to go. And sometimes it can be a lot going on. It's a lot of people, it's a lot of noise, it's a lot of products, toys that you want to look at, it's a lot of lights. So, but sometimes he would just have a meltdown, and I can't do anything. And people would look at you sideways like, get your child together. But little do they know, I just have to let him just scream it out, cry it out, whatever the case may be, because nothing calms him down in that moment. And so it definitely makes you look at situations that you see in public differently, because as parents, and then just as people, we tend to judge and just be like, they need to get their shit. Like, what if that was my child? He would be getting a whooping, this, that, and the third. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they got going on in their life. And so, although sometimes that might be the case where their child just really does need a good spanking, or their child needs to be put in their place, or, but that's not always the case. And so I think as I am raising my son and I am learning his disability and just all of these things, I think that it is opening my eyes to the world around me and saying, okay, everything isn't just what I grew up around. Everything isn't just my Black culture. Everything isn't just what I see with, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's bigger than that. So yeah, so he's having meltdowns, but we kind of got that under control. He started kindergarten, and now he's about to be in first grade. What am I gonna do, y'all? What am I gonna do? My baby is really growing, and it's insane. But that's another thing that has been a little hard. Just trying to get him on track educationally, because he's so smart. He's capable. But Zamir is very much like, I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So yeah, I know how to count, but I'm not counting if you ask me. Or yeah, I know how to write, but I'm not. He hates writing, y'all. Like, he hates writing. And it would be times I would get called to the school because he would be having meltdowns. And granted, this was during the time when he wasn't on his medication, so it would be intense at school as well. But just even outside of that, they're like, he's going crazy. We don't know what's going on. And they told me one time in a meeting that when it's time to do work, he throws a fit. And so I'm like, oh, like he's actually throwing a tantrum. That's not a melt, because meltdowns and tantrums are different. So I'm like, oh, he's throwing a tantrum because he doesn't want to write, because he doesn't want to do the work. He wants to play, or he wants to do whatever he wants to do. Okay, got it. Got it. So we are working on his writing, but like I said, he has made improvements in education, like just from when he first started kindergarten up until now. The biggest things that I'm concerned about as a parent, for him not being verbal, for him being nonverbal, and then him just kind of having like his IEP, and like just him kind of having like a different setup than other kids. I just kind of want him to not be singled out. I want him to be amongst the crowd. I want him to be interactive with his peers. And I don't want him to have to always get taken out of class to do this, that, and the third, or to always, like, I want him to just be normal, if you will, and just be average. So that's just the scariest part for me right now, is just as he's getting older and as he is moving forward in life, I just want him to have the tools necessary to make his life easier, and to also just make those around him, you know, aware. But that's just the only thing right now. He's supposed to be in first grade, and I'm just like, my baby really growing up. But I just don't want him to get held back, because I know that he's smart and he's capable. But like I said, the education system, you have to test to know that you can move forward. And I just don't want him to fail, if you will, or, you know, because I know that my baby is smart, and I'm just so thankful to God, because he really is. He really is. But we just have to get his brain and we just got to get it under control. But he is great. He is still a ball of joy. He loves laughing. He loves playing. He loves jumping. That boy would jump off of a tree if he could, if he wasn't scared to climb it. But he loves jumping off of things. He loves running. You know, they'll be like, you should put him in track. I'm like, I wish, because, you know, mama was a track star, so I wish. But Zamir would not be doing well with that little gun, and he would not be doing well with the structure of track. He would just be running just to run, like. So, but I mean, you never know. But yeah, he's doing great. I'm trying to think of other things that I can discuss, and then what I discussed before. So he is saying a few more words. Oh, this is the big thing too. He now has a device. He now has a speaking device, a speaking tablet that he can, basically it's used as his voice. So that's what we're working on. He just got that a couple months ago. So, excuse me, so they're using it at school, and then of course at therapy we're trying to get him used to using it. The issue is at home, trying to use it and being like, okay, what do you want? Because when he's at home, he knows what he needs to say to get what he wants. And so for instance, like when he's at school, he'll use it to be like, okay, I need to go to the restroom. But when he's at home, he just goes to the restroom. So yeah, that's a thing, and I'm happy about that, and I'm hoping that he's able to really adapt to it and to use it. They say that he does at school, but like I said, on just the day-to-day, I gotta do my part and just be like, okay, well, here we go, let's, you know, play around with it. What else? I think that's really it, honestly. He's just getting so big. He's getting so tall, y'all. He's getting so tall. It's crazy. He's about to be 7. I'm just like, oh my God, like I had a child 7. I gave birth 7 years. That is crazy. I was pregnant 7 years ago around this time. Like, it's just crazy to think about. But we are on this journey, and he is growing and he is learning. So I am just so excited and happy. I don't think I'm missing any updates for real. But the biggest thing, y'all, in the past year and a half, the meltdowns, child. That's the hardest thing is the meltdowns. And then just getting him prepared for school, because even the transition from preschool to kindergarten was a little hard, because preschool was only a few hours a day, and then you go to school, kindergarten, that's 7-8 hours. So, but he did well. He did well. So I think with him, his first initial interaction with things is a little hard because it's new, but once he gets used to it, he's good. So he's doing really well. But yeah, if you all have any suggestions, I am not, listen, please send them in, okay? Because I just want what's best for him. And then if y'all have suggestions for me, because I always, look, don't forget about the parents, don't forget about the mama, don't forget about the daddy, don't forget about the caregiver. We be needing support, we be needing advice, we be needing help too, not just them. So don't forget, if you got advice for me, okay, on how I can relax or calm down, or just how I can better help him, what works for you, what did someone tell you that you tried that it didn't work but you think that it might work for me, let me know. Okay? Until next time, if you guys want me to show footage of him, like at his therapy sessions or just updates with him, let me know and I will post more about my baby. But until next time, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, comment your comments. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.